very proud one at that. I so much believe in my profession. I choose it as my first line of duty. My first course, second choice, vet, third choice, vet. It was my choice for life. And I'm privileged to be here serving a very critical responsibility which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has charged us to do. And when the President and his team visited to intimate me on this effort, I was honestly very, very happy. And I want to congratulate you. And to also say that you took the advice very seriously and we are here doing this very wonderful event. So congratulations once again. I listened to the President's speech. It was quite presidential. I congratulate you also for your thoughts. And like the compare said, when you have that double combination, the two options you have given, I'm not ready to take any one of them. What I'm ready to do is to say I want to thank you for bringing out very succinctly so many critical issues we have brought up. And I will try to shed light on one or two things to show that your line of thinking aligns totally with the very visionary thinking of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Your team is talking about technological innovation. And let me have that so that I will respond. Thank you. I took note of one or two things you have said. You said agriculture has suffered unprecedented neglect. I think I would have loved it if you say neglect. But unprecedented is too weighty. And I will say that, to the best of my knowledge, that will not stand. The neglect, perhaps, is not even from government. The neglect is from we, the professionals. The extent to which we hold dear our professional calling is what has been an issue. Because like the policymakers will ask, the money we have given, what have we done with it? That question also comes to mind. So I think the issue of unprecedented neglect, I think, is the thing of the past. In the last 8 years, the APC administration has paid serious attention to agriculture. And you see, the neglect might have been before this particular period. And so when you have a system that has been long neglected, getting it back is also a long journey. We're not yet here, but I want to assure you that the visionary program of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which I will tell you some today, definitely will be the game changer. So you said there is lack of political will. And I think we have said it for the update time. The issue of lack of political will is now a thing of the past, courtesy of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who so declared that food security is the #1 national priority. Where there is political neglect, that cannot happen. The choice of my humble self and my brother, distinguished Senator Abuja, two-term senators, to lead the ministry cannot be political neglect or lack of political will. And I want to assure you that the two of us are not unaware of the magnitude of expectations. And that is why we are working very hard to see that we reverse the trend, the challenges we met, and to situate and redirect agricultural and food security issues in this country on a sustainable path of prosperity and growth. Now, you also said you recommended the issue of innovative equipment, mechanization, and lights. And I want to tell you here and now that the President asked one simple question. Why is the productivity of our farmers low? And of course, the answer is obvious. Records are there to show for it. We have 0.027 horsepower per hectare. What is the African average? It's 1.7. The global average, 2.7 horsepower per hectare. And we are dealing with 27. To reverse this trend, as we speak, there are three very powerful mechanization programs that are on course. The first one, the Memorandum of Understanding signed with John Deere, tractor manufacturers of the United States, with plans to bring on board up to 10,000 tractors over the next 5 years. We have the Green Imperative Program, GIP. That one also is targeting another 10,000 tractors and other implements over the next couple of years, 5 to 10 years as it is. And then we have another one, Greener Hope National Agricultural Mechanization Program, also targeting agricultural machineries, tractors, harvesters, and all the like. Now, what is the game changer here is, unlike the other programs, where government will buy certain number of tractors off the shelf and then dump it onto the farming communities, no maintenance culture, no maintenance service, what do they call it, spare parts. This program is designed to systematically have service centers across the 774 local governments of this country, so that when these tractors are in operation, you don't need to go far to get maintenance and spare parts as the case may be. And this same program is being designed to bring on board young Nigerians. The energy, the creativity, and the innovative mind of the Nigerian youth is also being taken into account here. So that at the end of the day, they will be the ones to run these service centers, which will be ICT enabled, because like you very well know, with ICT today, you should be able to know the hectarage you are working on. It's not like the former one that is analog. The man will work on 3 hectares and tell you it's 1 hectare. That is not going to happen. The technology that will be introduced, the operational standards that will be introduced are all going to enhance productivity. And coming along with it also is a credit scheme that will enable big-time farmers who really want to own one to be able to own it based on a very limited interest rate. Now, the other aspect is that, very importantly, the aspect of assembly. They are going to be assembled here in Nigeria, which means we will gradually begin to build the core human capital in terms of technological know-how and skill set over the long run, such that the country can also begin to think about its own manufacturing system for production. Now, you also talked about the need to have agricultural bank or bank of agriculture across each of the local governments. Let me say that the bank of agriculture has presence in almost every local government. But what has happened over the years is that the bank has been mismanaged, and right now, under the office of the Vice President, Distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, there is an ongoing reform of the Bank of Agriculture as we know it. And if you have been listening to the news, you will understand in the last National Council on Privatization, the issue about bringing the Bank of Agriculture along with Nisal, Microfinance Bank, and the like was being considered. So this bank is going to get reformed, and in the process, I want to assure you that we will take advantage of their massive presence across the entire length and breadth of this country to bring credit support to farmers closer to their areas of operation. Now, the other point I would like to add here is the National Agricultural Development Fund has been established. And the whole essence of this fund is to serve as an intervention to bring about ease in the operations of agriculture. The fund is new, but they are working very hard to see that they create a structural system that will address some of the issues we have raised in your speech. But let me also add that for us in the ministry, you are also aware we are ramping up production. Ramping up production here to ensure that, like you rightly said, the very huge agricultural potential that we have over 73 million hectares of arable land, out of which only 33 million or thereabouts is under cultivation. So the potential is quite huge. We are aware of that, and that explains why the mechanization program is key. Because you cannot operate, like you used to always say, I cannot go to farm using hoe and cutlass. Is somebody relating? The young one? Will you go to farm using hoe and cutlass? They want to go to farm, controlling the machinery using their iPhone. Is it 14 now? You know I'm there? What's the latest one now? Pro Max. 15 Pro Max. You see? They want to use that one to control. And I think all of these things is possible. Like the president said, the use of artificial intelligence and all the other technologies that have come to revolutionize how we understand the way things operate are key. And this year, in the budget of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, recognizing this and realizing the importance, we are going to have a hackathon for Nigerian youth to tell us the next future technology in Nigerian agriculture by their own self. It's a platform we're creating for them, and that will soon be unveiled any moment from, maybe next month. So the youth will look out for it. The hackathon is designed for you, so you can see and tell us what we should be doing with respect to technological, advancement in agriculture. Now, you talked about extension. Very rightly so. The current ratio of extension agents in the country is low. If you look at it from the perspective that at least it's about 1 to 1,500 farmers, that is just not possible. And no matter what you do to bridge that, we have a long way to go. In recognition of the importance of technology, we are also this year starting the establishment of an e-extension platform that we believe, when fully developed, the app will be available in all the stores, whether the Apple or the Android marketplace, so that our farmers can have access to it. Now, I hear your worry. Oh, Nigerian farmers are illiterate. I think they are very, very technology savvy. And if you know how farmers are now interacting on social media, you understand that it is time for us to reach out to them. The only difference here is that we are going to take note of the fact that they have different languages. So all the major languages, we are going to make sure they are enabled on that platform, so that simple questions that they can ask can be answered without necessarily having to worry about anything. These, to me, are responses that we must give. But permit me to also say that professional bodies like yours in the agricultural sector honestly have to wake up. And I want to congratulate you for casting the first stone, because we are confident that yes, you have a role to play, and you also very well put it it to your members that you owe a debt of gratitude to your faculty. And let me add, not just to the faculty, to the profession. Because when we act in the most professionally responsive way, then we are contributing not just to food security, we are contributing to public health. And this is the most important thing. When somebody is hungry and he has food, but that food is eating under an atmosphere of illness that the person does not even understand where it is coming from, you cannot call that person to be food secure. So the person has to be healthy and he has to eat wholesome and healthy food. And you know, just 2 days ago, the survey of the nutritional status of Nigeria was unveiled. And one of the key challenges that was noticed is the deficiency of animal protein, especially among women and children. That brings the question back to the front corner of the professional bodies like the veterinarians and animal scientists. So we need to rise up and support government in every way we can to ensure that the idea behind bringing national food security is not a one-man job, it's a collective responsibility. And we are well equipped to contribute to that. Finally, let me appreciate you for inviting me. And when they told me I was going to receive an award, I just, you know, I said, nobody told me this. And I said, well, I have nothing to say but to say thank you very much for recognizing the little efforts we are making in the profession. And I also want to assure you that we are currently reforming or preparing to reform fully certain things that are happening in the profession. But I think of note in the fact that Mr. President has directed a total, transformation and reform of the livestock sector completely. And I think the committee is going to work with the Office of the Vice President to achieve this. This is following the report submitted by His Excellency Dr. Abuja, the APC National Chairman, who as then Governor of Kano State convened a livestock summit here in Abuja. The outcome of that summit was presented to Mr. Bola Tinubu, and he has given it his total support for actions to be taken, but based on the very solid team that have been put in place right now to look at all the issues. So we expect to see in coming months certain changes that will come. But for us at the level of the ministry, I think we have recognized that the veterinary profession also needs to have its own element of reform. So to this extent, last year, I set up what I call Animal Health Reform Group, and we have 3 subcommittees under it. They are meeting, and I'm sure by May, they are going to call for another meeting to present to us how far they have gotten. And in that reform, they are going to be looking at aspects of both law, education, and practice, plus industry. So, in the course of all of this work, some of the members of that reform group are here. I'm sure they know what I'm saying. Please use this opportunity to do further networking so that you can get some people that maybe were not in your radar when you had that discussion, and tap from whatever you can tap out of them. But I want to assure you, together we can make the veterinary profession that delight, that prideful, very posh, elite group of trained individuals who call themselves veterinarians. And as I say, veterinarians respect the business. If you don't agree, please raise your hand. But if you agree, chant after me, respect the business. Veterinarians Every other person should join as we set the pace for national growth and prosperity. Thank you very much. I understand that this has not put the final full stop there. Alright, so let me say this on this note that I hereby declare this one-day national symposium open to the glory of God and for the benefit of humanity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, sir. Let me just snap with you because before you go, I don't know again. Photographer, come and snap with the minister. This picture is a collateral. He said we should come. You get here. The other MC is not a come.